All right, this is my second attempt, hopefully more fruitful this time, to do a little video to test the Sena camera and to test the TuneBoy. It's got cruise now, so I want to try that out, and also I did manage to reset my oil life indicator, I think. So I wanted to give that a try, see how it goes. And see how it works with the camera narrating it and stuff. So it did say recording, so I'm going to assume it is still recording. If I look at it, do I see a light? Yep, blue. That's good. Okay. So my new climb gloves, my new climb jacket. So trying to get these worn in. They're very nice, but quite stiff initially. So hoping to soften them up a little bit. Okay. So now, not sure if you can see that, but the bike says MTS 1200 Racing since I flashed it with the TuneBoy. Which is kind of funny. And forgot to do my chin strap. Now I've got my gloves on. Always difficult. Either this helmet's getting smaller or my face is getting fatter. I think I know which one, sadly. Maybe I shouldn't have bought those donuts today. Alright, there's the bike. Still appear to be recording, which is good. Problem last time, so there we go. We're leaving the house. And so I thought I would try narrating this just to see how the audio works primarily. And also to kind of give you guys the lay of the land. So this is my street. I'm going to turn up. We have Reserve on the left side of the street, so you can kind of tell. As you'll see here. And then it's privately owned Brentwood Bay on the right side of the street, which, you know, market difference. Anyway, part of living in BC. I'm also going to turn the Sena on, and I want to try playing some music and see what how it sounds with the camera. Maybe you hear the music as well. I'm guessing you probably will. I'm not sure. So I've accidentally turned the radio on, which is funny because I've never ever used the radio before. I'm going to just turn it down. So this is sort of what we're going to do is a little tour of the Peninsula, which is when we rode into Victoria. We never got up here. You guys went down to the ferry, which is the opposite direction. So basically I've just turned on West Saanich Road, and this road goes in through a couple of different reserves and along the water on the left side of the peninsula. So looking at Victoria, if you are thinking about Victoria, if you look at your left hand, hold it out like that, the thumb, essentially the bottom of your thumb is Victoria, the top of your thumb, where your thumbnail is Sydney, and I live about halfway along, kind of the middle of your thumb on the left side in that little bay. So it's actually this bay right here, which is called Saanich Inlet. And yeah, it's kind of nice up here. It's quite rural. You'll see up ahead there's farms and horses and things like that. Lots of bikes on this road because a lot of guys will come up here and just for a quick ride, you know, sort of, you could do a nice 1 hour loop from Victoria, come up here to some side roads and get here on West Saanich Road, which is kind of nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the cruise on, and the way you turn the cruise on is you press and hold the start button for 3 seconds, and when you do that, the engine will blip a little bit. So we're going to go do it now. did not hear it. Oh fuck. I've managed to turn my heated grips on. Alright, let's try this again. A lot harder to do when you're moving with gloves on. Press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. Definitely didn't hear it happen, and part of it I think is because my end of my glove is rolling around. Actually, I think it might have been on, because when I pressed it just then, the bike slowed down dramatically. So that's going to take some playing with, because see if I roll off the throttle what happens. It's definitely not on now. So press and hold for 3 seconds. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. The bike is supposed to go boom. And I did it at home and it worked. Weird. Alright, I'll fuck with it more. Probably with no gloves on, and see if it's that or what's going on. I wonder if you're going to be doing it when you're stopped or something. I don't know. I'm going to ride up here a little bit. It's very twisty here, so I'm going to focus on the riding and do that later. Little Raptor. So the one challenge you always have in Victoria is slow drivers. The speed limits are slow. There's a lot of seniors around. I don't think it's a senior driving this Raptor, but he's certainly driving like a senior. It's very, very common here to be stuck behind somebody and just tearing your hair up. Second gear, a lot of the time. So, and there's really nowhere to pass here. I do pass on the double solid sometimes, if it's worth it. This guy's doing exactly 60. The speed limit is 60. So you kind of wonder why buy the fucking Raptor and ride it like that, or drive it like that, you know. But I'll look for a spot up ahead. So yeah, this is now private property. We're off the reserve. To the left, there's a lot of very, very big mansions down on the water that are really, really gorgeous. Little scoop. Alright. So up ahead we're going to come out right near the water, and there'll be some nice views, a Coast Guard dock, and there's a maritime research facility up there, about 5 minutes up ahead. Lots of scooters today over the bike. Reminds me of following those scooters through Lillooet. Remember we kept running into those scooters? Kept passing them and having lunch and whatever, and going catching up to them again, and there they were. And now we're reserve again, so how can you tell? So we come into the reserve and the speed drops down to 50. And another scooter. I've never seen so many scooters on this road. Usually a lot of bikes, but not so much scooters. A ladybug. So I'm holding off judgment. She could be cute. So this is the end of the reserve up ahead. So across, again, if you're thinking about Victoria as a hand and a thumb, there's a bunch of east-west roads that just run due east-west straight across. And essentially they're running from water on this side to water on that side. And this is another one of them here. We passed a couple already. And there are just a number of them. So McTavish is one of the bigger ones. And then the next up ahead, there's a golf course, and the next east-west road is near a golf course and in the airport up ahead. So they've been widening up the bike lanes here. I'm going to zip around here right now. Just because I don't feel like following. But I want to watch my speed. Don't go too crazy. 62, that'll go. I think that might be a cop. No, it's a car with a van. What's he flashing at? Does it tell me there's cops? 63. So farms off to the right, lots of farms, and actually working dairy farms. Island Farms Dairy right here, or you know, one of the farms that contributes to Island Farms. Island Farms is a milk producer, part of Agro Pier. They're like Dairyland, or I can't remember the one in Alberta anymore. But you see there, lots of farmland, lots of horses and equestrian stuff here for Bruce. Yeah. And lots of vegetable growing and things like that. There's also a number of wineries on the peninsula. There's about 6 or 7 of them, and it's kind of a nice thing to do. A nice way to spend a Saturday is to go wine tasting and start the furthest one from home and kind of work close. There's 2 within about 2 kilometers of our place, or my place. And so it's kind of nice. You can kind of go and work your way back, and then there's also a place that does beer tasting. So it's a nice way to spend the day. Come back home, pick up some steaks or something. There's a stable there, Bruce. They actually sell prawn bait too for prawn traps. It's kind of interesting. And that's the Maritime Research Center I was telling you about. Up there, they've got a bunch of these yellow things out in the water out there in the ocean. Very, very deep out there. It's like a fjord, and they've got all these research stations out there where they can lower things down to set depths and tests and stuff like that. And then we're at the airport, so you can see the landing, the end of the runway is right there. And sort of 50-50 which direction they take off and land in. But not uncommon to have planes fly right over your head right here. A little bit of sun there. So to our left is Patricia Bay, Pat Bay we call it. The Pat Bay Highway. The highway that goes from the ferry into town is called the Pat Bay Highway. And see, we got French radio going. So yeah, they've got several Coast Guard ships out there, and they tend to patrol this area pretty tight. Nice houses, but you got a road right in front of your house, so kind of loses the attraction to me, I think. But it's a very pretty bay. So looking across there is Mill Bay and Cowichan Bay. And then the Malahat is that big mountain there, sort of that range. The road runs along the top of that. It's called the Malahat. And yeah. Then up ahead, we're going to come inland. The road goes inland a little bit up to and past Deep Cove. And make sure we don't hit this lady. Lots of little artisan shops, like that place is a little shop. They've got it closed right now because of the virus, but lots of soap and jewelry and little carpentry stuff and all kinds of things along there. And then we go back onto reserve. So clicking a switch right here. I usually like to have a little bit of fun through these S's. up on the right is a place called Epicure, and their business has started up here locally, and they make a lot of sort of self-prepared meals. So you can buy like Thai soup in a bag sort of deal, and you just add water, or add coconut milk or whatever. Tex-Mex seasoning, stuff like that, chocolate puddings and cake mixes and all kinds of things. And then they also now have gotten into dishes and stuff, so they sell steamers and kitchen accessories and things like that, a bit like the Pampered Chef. So I don't really buy a lot of their stuff. It is nice, it's good quality, but I tend to, a lot of that stuff I'll just make my own. But it's kind of neat to see a local business that's been growing and expanding. It's good. So that road there cuts straight across to where the ferry comes out. And up ahead here is Deep Cove. And taking their time. So they have some summer farmers markets here. One on the left here, just behind this church. Every Saturday morning. Old Granny in front of us. Granny Sweet. A little close. So this road goes up for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we hit a road called Land's End, and that's a road that runs along the coast on the north tip. So again, the top of the thumb, is Land's End. We're passing. And that's there's some beautiful houses on the left side of that road. They're waterfront. It's quite terraced and quite high cliffs. So there's a few that are, sort of on the water, but a lot of them are water view. You can see sort of up ahead the water. But there's houses in there and up in a couple $1 million range. And it's kind of a neat spot because there's always something going through there. So this pass here, straight ahead that island on the other side of the water there, that's Salt Spring. So we're on, the island proper, but that's the Salt Spring Island right there. So there's freighters go through here, all kinds of ships. No ferries, but there's pretty much a lot of boat traffic going through there. Do I trust this signal? Yeah. Fitty, a new Fitty zone. Yeah, so off to our left here. See a yellow vest. Is that a cop or a dog walker? I'm going with dog walker. Ian, do you wear your full high-vis when you're walking the dogs? I know you guys will be disappointed in me because I got a black Climb jacket. Oh, even the dogs have high-vis. Smart. Yeah, so you can see there's some nice houses just down by the water. My head's turned kind of as far to the left as it can. I'm not sure how much the field of view is on the camera, so it's a good thing to test. And I believe we're still recording. I haven't heard it say not recording, so fingers are crossed. This is where I went the other day, more or less. I kind of cut across a bit earlier, but I went to Sydney. And narrated the whole thing for you guys, got home, and nada. So getting used to working with the new camera. So one thing I'd like to do this year is get out and do some motorcycle camping. I got some stuff that I bought for the rally. I already had some stuff, so I'm trying to get things ready again. Yeah, you can just kind of nice view there. So yeah, trying to get my gear back together and ready to do that again, and hoping that will be fun. A bit worried about my back. It's a lot of pain lately, and there's really nothing we can do about it. It's nerve pain, so there's kind of nothing we can do. So trying different meds and stuff with the doctor, but waiting for the neurosurgeon to get back to me. So I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. I'm on the bike now. It hurts. It's been really bad today. It hurts, but no worse than sitting in my chair at home. So I figure I might as well get out and move around a little bit. But it's definitely become a major lifestyle blocker. So I'm kind of worried about it, to be honest, because I'm not getting any younger and I'm not getting any lighter. So I'm gonna have to probably go on a starvation fucking diet here, because I'm just getting fatter and fatter. Whatever I'm currently doing is clearly not working. So I'm gonna try that cruise again. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you got it. Oh, that seemed to do something. It's doing something. I don't know what. When I press and hold the button, the throttle cuts all of a sudden, like it was on and then it's off. And when I turned it on before, I wasn't moving. And maybe you need to be not moving. I mean, the fucking manual this guy wrote, it's got nothing in it. To press it, to turn it on, press the button for 30 seconds. To nudge up, adjust your speed, and press the button again. That's it. So you're like, okay, did it work? Did it not work? I have no idea. So my fingers are crossed that it's working. I don't know. So we're coming up to the highway, the Pat Bay Highway, and the ferries you're going to see. We're right at the ferry. We're going to go straight through if this guy ever makes this big turn. Actually, why did I go straight through? I should not have gone straight through. I think what I'm going to do is go left and try to see if I can turn the cruise on again. What's in here? This music is pretty funny. Maybe I'll fix it too. Okay, so watch it now. It's not behaving. Thing. It's like there's a shortage of buttons or something. Why is everyone going to no buttons anymore? Apple does that too. It drives me fucking nuts. No buttons, no dials, no screens, nothing. Give me a fucking button. Definitely not working. Alright, well, at least I can fix my music while I'm here. I find this SMH20 or whatever, I find it a lot harder to operate than the 10. The 10 was just way easier to reach the knobs and stuff. Like, I actually had an idea what it was doing. Alright, it's on. So let's play some music. Oh yeah, Bluetooth is off. Alright, it's better. I'm going to try shutting the bike off again and back on. There, hear it? Now it's on. That blip. What I can't remember, though, occurring to me now, is I don't remember how to turn it back on. How to set the speed. Oh well, I guess I'll find out. Okay, are we still recording? Looking into the belly of the sun. Yeah, looks like it. So clearly feel free to skip over some of this, or all of it if you like. Alright, visor down, sunshade down. Now I need the visor up, I fogged it up. Alright, just gonna go on the highway. There's a volume test for wind noise. Going way too fast for Victoria, I'll tell you that, because I rolled it now. Of course, the highway is no fun, so we're going to get off the highway. And we're going to go through Sydney. Come on, red truck. So again, back to the thumb. Now we're just around the right side of the tip of the thumb, kind of about maybe the middle or base of your thumbnail on the right side. And that's where there's a lot of marinas. And this area they've been building up to our left here. These are all new homes, as you can tell. And very big swanky houses down there. There's a marina at the end. I got some customers in there, done some work in there. And to the right is a soccer field that Josh played soccer at, coached for a while there. So while we're going in and out of there, right here, they're building these houses here, and I'm like, oh, this is like a nice looking house, you know. So I inquire into it. They want like $1.4 million for that fucking house. It's not waterfront. It's got a small backyard in an odd shape. The house itself is nice, but nothing really special. It's a new house, nice finishings, but that's about it. Or at least they did when they sold it, so I don't know what it's worth now, but it's fucking mental. I think they're out of their minds. So yeah, marina after marina after marina here. And if I live on a boat, I'll probably end up in one of these marinas up here because they're one of the only ones that do liveaboards. So, not much to say here. We're doing a lot of, taking old houses and knocking them down, building condos and new neighborhoods. But they're doing a pretty nice job. I mean, a lot of these houses look pretty nice. They're pretty close together, but that seems par for the course lately. It's kind of the way they build everything now. Unless you're lucky enough to have acreages like two guys I know. So there are some townhouses, and when Karen and I were you know, 3 weeks before separating, when we were still on our mission to move to a townhouse and buy a boat, we were looking in there because we like Sydney a lot. And as I said, I'm not sure what the fuck happened there, but whatever. So yeah, you can see more boats out there, lots and lots of boats. That one, I think that's Van Isle Marina. And that, there's a First Nations marina there, but this road up ahead here goes down. One of my dealers is on this road, and it's kind of funny because the dealer's owned by somebody that Josh goes to school with, and we know the parents, and they own that All Bay Marine right there. So Sydney, essentially, we are in the senior capital of British Columbia, probably. More seniors per capita here than anywhere. The stores in Sydney, you know, they sell those scooters, those, you know, little things people sit on and drive around, and they got like dealerships here with the, you know, they got the platinum model and all this shit. And less single family homes now, and more townhouses and condos. A lot of them, you know, water view, nice. But there's a few, these are pretty high-end homes on our left, or, you know, expensive homes from back in the day. These are all new. They built one here. I think I sent you guys a picture of the bike on the beach when I first moved out here, and that was taken just to our left up ahead. Little park there. But as usual, second gear. If I shift into third, I'll just be shifting down again. So black on black. I think it's down there, that little park near the road. But Sydney is nice because it's a very, very walkable. Everything is within walking distance, especially from here up. You know, you're 2 blocks off the main street here. The main street is Beacon Avenue. And Thursday nights, from May till September, they have the Sydney night market, so they shut the street down from a certain point, and it's just a farmer's market, but it's sort of every Thursday night, so it's a big, almost ritual, people coming up here. And there's entertainment, and they have all kinds of shit going on. See, I'm down into First now because I'm in front of the old folks' home. The place is probably chock full of COVID in there. Holy shit. I literally can't go slow enough. I'm doing 23. I like to look at these places. I thought about trying to make my house look like them. My house should do not look that good. See, there you go. Knocking them down, building condos. The other thing that's almost impossible to find here is a 2-car garage. Lots of townhouses, lots of garages, 1-car garages. See, again, if you look in here, they're all 1 car. No 2-car garages. I think I'll jog over here. My goal is to get through Sydney here in a minute, and then on to Lochside Drive, which is very pretty. Come on, Fossil. Oh, if that's not looking for trouble, I don't know what is. Little old guy in his little teeny car. Good news, he's going my way. The nice thing is you don't have to walk far to get to the crematorium. Theoretically, I probably should have stopped, but I don't wanna. So the question is, am I going to be cheeky and pass this guy on the right? Not after seeing that video. So this is Beacon Avenue here. It's the main street, and basically comes from the north side of the north tip of the airport, straight across to the water. And lots of restaurants and stuff. This is where they close it down right from here all the way to the end for the night market every week. Obviously that's all off right now, but here's the scooter dealer to our right next to the hearing place. I don't know, do you call those scooters things the old folks drive around on? I don't know what they're called. Fast wheelchairs. All right. So up ahead is traffic circle and then Lochside. So again, it's kind of the remnants of the old houses here, and more new ones on the left there. Come on, Grandpa Sweet, killing me, dude. Oh, this is not what Ducati had in mind. Okay, so this is Lochside Drive. It's 5th Street turns into Lochside. It's right on the water. There's a launching ramp over there our fishing club uses, and we actually do some maintenance and some patrolling in that thing. There's also the ferry terminal that goes to Port Townsend. The ferry comes in there. And this is nice because it goes right up along the water. And it's one of the time I used to run down there. A friend of mine owns that motel with his family. Apparently they just sold it for $8.5 million. They're bane of Victoria, bicycles on the road. Very, very entitled. You'll get packs of 20 cyclists on Saturdays and Sundays and they won't move. You're doing 20, they take up the whole lane. You gotta pass them on double solids to get by. They're very, very militant. It's interesting. So similar to that road around before where you got a house there and then a road right in front of your house. I'm not sure the appeal. I mean, the view is nice, but it's noisy because there's always traffic on this road. There's a lot of park services and stuff like that, so looks like a wing. Gave him a wave, don't know if I got one back. There. So Josh used to practice up there by where the launching ramp is, practice soccer, do the not remedial, but like an extra training thing. And I would run down here to this, up ahead where that bike is, and then turn around and go back. And I was really enjoying it, but I killed my knees. So this is the entrance to the world's most crazy traffic circle in the world. I think I'll go that way. 20 with going straight. There's 5 traffic circles there, all in a row. I just want to go down here. Continue on Lochside Drive. The funny thing is, I found out last time I was up here, I've been taking the bicycle route because there's a bicycle left turn back there, and I've been doing that all the time. Didn't realize it. It was in my car even. Didn't realize it wasn't for cars. It was just for bikes. Because it's an old road, so it's not narrow or anything. It's just a sign. I never noticed it. And there we go again. Second gear. This guy's killing my buzz, man. The dog park's up ahead. This on our left here is all dog park, and on the right, both sides. And it's kind of nice because the dogs can come out and stretch their legs. And on the left here, there's actually a couple of paths down to the beach, so you can go right along the beach there. Nice. And then to the right is kind of big fields, and the dogs just gallop through there. Especially Jessie, she's got a big galloping run. She's got long legs, long spindly legs. So this is kind of similar all the way down Lochside here. It's houses, waterfront, single family, nice houses, most of them. and expensive, of course. But it's a much prettier way to go than going on the highway, which is just up there, parallel in this. So back in the day in Victoria, they had trams that went from downtown Victoria, they went all the way up to Sydney and over by our place. And yes, I see you. Oh, you're a speeder. So yeah, a lot of this, like this road, follows the old tram tracks essentially, and there's a really great bike path network in this town, and a lot of it is because it's following the old the old trams. So these tend to be more estate homes where you need statues and gates. I would love a statue and a gate. Karen was always like really anti anything like that. Any display of wealth is bad. Now she doesn't have to worry about it. Comically, she's in better financial shape than almost anybody because her parents have money, and her parents are approaching 80. So, I think she's going to be okay in the long run. But it's always people like that they don't know what it's really like to think they do. Not my problem. So we were looking at these places too, because the places themselves inside are really, really nice. The problem with them is they're right by the highway. So the highway's right behind them here. And two things you get with highways: one is noise, the other one is dust, dirt. So we're definitely I decided not to go there. And then there's the reserve again. So this is one of the east-west roads I mentioned. It's called Mount Newton Cross Road. And this one goes straight up and over the thumb, right at about your knuckle, from the right side to the left side. If either of you guys have hung in this long, I'm going to put a special word: Titanic. If either of you watch this video and then mention the word Titanic to me, I'm going to know you actually got this far. Because, I don't know about you, but I probably would not get this far if it was one of your videos. And I would probably say that I had. Oh yes, one of the 3 McDonald's here. Very few McDonald's. One in Sydney, one here, and one kind of halfway into town. I need to get the visor, take it apart and lubricate stuff. It's just getting stiff on this. So up ahead is the hospital, Saanich Peninsula Hospital. They call San Pen. I've been there a number of times this year. Unfortunately, I was there for heart concerns at one point. I was there for tests for my back twice. I was there because I got a piece of metal under my eyelid, and something else. A bunch of times. And then I had to take Jeremy there. He had strep throat. So yeah, it's been great. So 85% of this whole area, the thumb essentially, is called agricultural land reserve. So these fields and stuff like that, they're not going to get built on unless the city capitulates. So I hope they do not. So we're kind of at the top of the hill now, sort of flattens out a bit here and then drops down the other side. And this inn has been here since the 1800s apparently. It's one of the very original buildings, very original places it was here. And to our right is Saanichton. So we live in Central Saanich, and this is Saanich Ton. So they have this little sort of shop here, and then off to our right is the grocery store, the Thrifties and stuff where Jeremy used to work, and Shoppers Drug Mart and the hardware store and stuff like that. And then on our right here is the cop shop, or left, I mean. So this is a road called Mount Newton Cross still, and this will take us back into just north of where I turned on to start the little tour, so there's about 5 minutes left. And this is a really pretty road. It just runs right through this farm area. Very often I come home this way. It's just really pretty, especially on a sunny day. There's some hikes that you can do that aren't that bad. Even I can do them. Up to the mountain on our right. I want to say Mount Doug, but that's not it. Anyway, Dean Park, Dean Mountain. So up there's a lookout you can go to, and you can look down and oversee this whole thing. And then there's farms along here, and some sort of school for troubled children. They don't call them juvies anymore, but that's what it is. Yeah, and lots of beautiful farms here, and acreage lots and stuff like that. And then up ahead, friends of ours have a farm here, Blueberry Farm, and some other stuff. We used to coach their sons in soccer, just pupil. And last summer, the summer before last, we went to a thing. A lot of people around here are big on the 100 kilometer diet. So you're trying to eat stuff that's within 100 kilometers of where you live. Stay away from processed food, stuff like that. And one of the things they do every year is this thing called Feast of Fields. It's a bit bumpy here, so my voice is a bit choppy. There's a lot of fine ripples in this asphalt. Anyway, it was right up here is a farm, and I'd actually read the book years ago. When we moved out here, I found this book, and it was about a guy from Ontario, and he moved out here with his wife and bought a piece of farmland that everyone said, you're nuts, you can't farm on that land, it's too steep. And so what he did is he terraced it into about 5 terraces and started up this farm, initially selling herbs. And they still sell herbs, but they also sell other stuff now. And the Feast of Fields moves around every year, and always in this area, but there'll be a crossover by the Malahat or something next year. Tickets I think were $80 for an adult. You get admission in there, and there's several hundred people in there, and they had all the 5 terraces full of vendors, and they have vegetables, they have sushi, they have local butchers with their meats cooked, and you can try their sausages and their whatever. Local dairies, local breweries, wineries, so there'll be beer and wine there. And basically once you're in, everything is paid for. So you just walk around and sample this and sample that, and there's bread and there's things, and just fantastic, and music and people roaming around playing instruments and stuff like that. It was really, really neat. Definitely a do again. I don't know where it is next time, but really enjoyed it this year. And then there's a church up on our left. And that church has, they do a wine tasting thing every year. I can't remember the name of that one either, but right down there. So every year they have this wine festival there, and they have all the local wine, some beer, mostly wine, and some spirits, but again, mostly wine. And it's funny because it's in the parking lot of this church. And not parking lot, it's in a field, which is just to our left. And you walk around and just where is it? Yeah, we just passed it. Anyway, you walk around in there, and they have a car show, so a lot of their old MGs, old cars and stuff like that they bring out. And you just walk around, have a drink. There's a few snacks and things like that. But it's sort of a very nice little neighborly kind of thing to do. All right, so this is the road that we started on, West Saanich. Now we're heading south on West Saanich. We rode by here on the way up. That's the bay there. That's Brentwood Bay essentially, and then we're going to come into the reserve up ahead. This RV storage park popped up last year, like in a week. There was nothing there, and then boom, all of a sudden there's this thing and it's full of RVs. Where in the fuck did they come from? But not a bad place for it, I suppose. given other places it could be. So yeah, we're back on the reserve, and then we'll take the right on mine, the street adjacent to mine, and run down the hill and we go home. Checking our gas, some fuel. It's interesting, since I got the TuneBoy installed, I now have this battery low level indicator that I never had before. Turn it off. But that's pretty interesting because I'd never had that, never used that before. Oh, the cruise is working. Look at that. No hands, Mom. Cool. So I guess the key is to turn it on before you start rolling. Again, you could put it in the book, but let's not bother. And then apparently if you touch any control, like if I pull the clutch in, it stops. Oh yeah, it's working even in that low speed. That's awesome. Just need to learn how to use it, and I'll write it up in the manual and send it to the guy. Alright, and this is the road. Super tight turn, and there's a lot of gravel there often at the top. They put this sidewalk in last summer. I'm glad they did. It was terrible here. It was the same. It used to be the same as it is on the left, all the way down here. And these poor people on this reserve, like a lot of them are walking. They don't have cars. And I'm telling you, man, it was like, well, you almost hit people. Like they're walking down here, like this guy or this woman here, whatever this is. If it was dark, you wouldn't see her or him. Still can't tell. Her. You know, they've no, unless you got high vis, forget it. So there you go. There's the tour of Central Saanich. North Saanich is where Sydney is, the Peninsula area. I hope you found it informative. I hope my monologue hasn't been too much, and I hope that you can hear it. Whoops, missed the gear. So this is my house here. This brown, not so good looking place. Car's the nicest looking thing in there. Jeremy's car. But it's a work in progress. It's getting better. Keep working at it. Alright, and where I parked the bike is in here. Just fits in here, and I put the cover on it. I like to put it in neutral. Lock. There it is. Need to lube that. All right, gentlemen. I hope you stuck through. I know it's long, but I hope you found it interesting. I hope you could hear me. I'm gonna shut the music off. Is it still going? Appears to still be going. I will turn it off. Thanks for checking in today.